Hey everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Hi.
Friday. Dude.
Hello.
Peggy, I miss you.
I miss you, April. I'm gonna see you soon.
Hi.
I know. Hi, Jeannette. Here's Cecilia. So many people. Andre.
Hi.
Noah's hiding.
It's the hair. I told you, it's just my hair. That's all.
There's Nick.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, he's early. Look at that.
Just rolled in. Yeah.
I loved your Instagram today, Nick. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, mixed feeling, but is what it is.
I rode horses for 35 years and walked away in one day and sold my horse and my trailer and all of my equipment in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a moment when the door just shut. But tennis is in my blood and will always be there. But the horses was see ya. But anyway, great post today, Nick. I'll shut up. Bye.
You know, Noah kind of pushes me on what content needs what, because I'm a terrible influencer. I've kind of gotten away from doing all that. I've dropped every sponsorship I have over the last couple of years, and except for one with the bags with King Kong, just because it's easy with them. But I walked away from the Holy Grail I was with SBD. They're the title sponsor for a lot of the big powerlifting meets. They're the title sponsor for World's Strongest Man. I didn't align with them.
Yeah.
And I just decided that at the end of the day, what elbow and knee sleeves you wear comes down to preference. They're all the same means to the end. They're not going to be the make or break whether I win a show and I get tired of the industry. And, that's why I've never worked with any apps. I've had a few apps reach out to me. This is the only one I've ever actually entertained and actually done, because it's different. And with strongman, it's just, when you I don't know how else to word it. When you bend the knee to
Yeah.
different, I'm not good at bending the knee. Uh, I try to show up how I am, and I know in the military I made it. I require a strong leader because I will walk all over a weak one.
Yeah. And then you end up testing them. You just called yourself an influencer. That's the one word I just put up on Instagram about you. I called you the influencer.
I'm
That's
a
so weird.
terrible influencer because I you can't give me a script. You'll be lucky if I read it. Like, and if I don't like it, I won't. There was a company that sponsored World's Strongest Man this year, and they do socks. And they reached out, and I just so happened to be walking into the gym, and my response wasn't even words. I took a picture of me walking into the gym with flip-flops. And they were like, got it, not a good fit. I mean, fuck am I gonna do with? It's 29 degrees out, and I wore flip-flops.
In the same way. I lived barefoot. I don't see any other way.
I'm
Yeah,
so well drinked up, so
it's more so that I have a 5.5 inch inseam on foot width. I'm in the top 0.2 percentile in the world. And most shoes just don't fit, and I've given up. I have shoes I train in, and I wear them when I train. I take them off when I'm done. It's just I have shoes that boots. I paid, my boots for hunting, working when I used to do manual labor. I'd have to pay $330 for custom Red Wings to get a sole that my feet didn't spill over. It was just so you can't I just can't be bothered at this point. I'm 32 and I feel like I'm handling things like I'm 70. It's I'm just over it.
Watch it. Watch it. Watch
What
the
are you
age.
how old are you?
Honey, I'm 62.
62. You're almost as old as my parents. My parents are getting close to 70.
Oh, bite me. But I did just win nationals in tennis. So there you go.
They blind or?
Yeah,
Do
way to
what?
on that, by the way, April.
I missed that. What did you say?
So were they blind?
That was not nice.
That's me and April's relationship.
Yeah, I got a lot to do with Nick in March when I see him.
That's pretty good. Nationals in tennis?
Yeah, down in Tucson 2 weeks ago.
Man, that sucks. They had it in Tucson. Like that's like the armpit of Arizona.
No, Yuma is the armpit of Arizona, but Tucson is close.
There's less people because there's dunes, and if you got something that's got 4-wheel drive, it's a whole lot of fun.
Hey, I've got a lot of friends. I got a lot of Marines down there too that are really good. But no, it rained in Tucson. It hasn't rained, and it rained for 3 days straight, and it never rains in Tucson, so it was crazy. But anyway,
that is a stroke.
They have a good music scene in Tucson, don't they?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, I'm shutting up. Goodbye.
Did we want to run check videos first like we did last time, Noah?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep. All right. Give me a sec. Good. Cool.
Yes, I can see. Jacob, I think you're a little wide. Reason being is that I'm trying to watch if he struggled anymore. Reason being is that to keep that bar drive going back up towards our face, your elbows are constantly flared the whole time when you're this wide. So you can't get the tight back when we're that spread out. It's tight at the bottom, but as you get halfway, it's hard to keep your back into position. Versus and when I say you're pretty wide, I mean if you came in like 2 finger widths, I think you'd have a better ability to keep the elbows a little tighter on the way down. So then they're flaring on the drive and you're not already out there and giving up that leverage. But everything else looks great. I think if we brought you in like 2 finger widths, you might be able to get a little bit more tricep out of that on the upper half of the bench. Finding bench width is just like squat width. It takes some playing with. I probably changed my bench width a dozen times in the journey to get where I'm at, and it's not a priority for me with my sport. So, but nonetheless, it's going to be slightly different for different people. So I think he's just a little bit wide, but otherwise his bench looks pretty sound. Next. These are pretty good. She's a little pocket Hercules. She's strong. These are good. She could get a little bit lower. If you notice at the bottom, the very bottom, she has some travel. What I mean by travel is her hips stop and she folds, and that's looking for that extra depth, but she doesn't actually descend in depth anymore.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah,
But
yes.
I'll take this though, because 4 months ago, I mean, I wasn't squatting to depth at all.
You're kissing it.
And this is only 20 pounds off of what I was doing before, so
yeah,
I'm happy.
You're flirting with it. You're right there. It's just a matter of holding that position and just trusting your legs with the power. And just sitting a little bit lower. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just sit a little bit lower. You've got all the right pieces. We just need you to kind of get to hold that position right before you fold.
I just need to go down to the point where it feels a little scary.
Yeah, trust yourself. Your legs are strong. You'll be able to handle it. Next. Spotto press. Bar path's great. The only thing that stood out to me was you came out and you like fell right into it versus come out, keep that back tight, brace, descend. Just like treat it like a squat walkout. You come out,
Okay.
you get settled, you brace, you squat. Bench, same thing.
Okay.
Otherwise, I love the bar path. I love your setup. You know, you've got a slight arch in your back. Your shoulders aren't flopping all around. Your legs are in place. You've got a lot of the good components. It's just the lift starts at the unrack. So just like your squat, I want to see your setup on the bench, you know, as procedural. Bit
Okay.
bench. Good job.
Thank you.
Yep. Next. Why do I feel more back than hamstrings? Let's find out. Most likely, probably because when you come down, it looks like I'm trying to see past the plates. It looks like so how do I put this into words? Because my brain thinks in images and movies. So I can see the pattern and see what needs to change. So basically, when it comes to a stiff leg deadlift, we need to think of it as the main thing that's happening is our hips are sliding back and forth. So whereas you initiate with a fold, not rounding. You have good back posture, but you're initiating it slightly with a fold, which takes the bar out away from you slightly. So it's likely that's what's causing it with the back versus completely dictating this movement by, don't think about it as bending over. Think about it as pulling your hips back away from the bar as far as you can the entire time. And that's what's going to pull that hamstring into play versus tipping forward. And so instead of doing this, I want you to do this, if that makes sense. Slide your hips back to start. Don't think about going down. That's going to happen automatically. Just think about constantly pulling your hips away from the bar and then squeezing your butt and slamming them back to the bar. Your hips are just on a glide path. Next. These look good. From this angle, it's hard to tell where your actual arm position is if you're too high to where we're at there. But the dumbbell path looks great. Good range of motion. You're not sloppy on the bench. Everything looks intact from this angle that I can see. Next. These are pretty good. This is definitely progress. I would slow your eccentric down just a little bit, the down portion. So, because as you're getting deeper in the set, you're getting a little bit shallower. I want that feedback of you controlling that descent, maintaining tension, and making sure you're hitting the bottom of your range of motion. Everything looks the same except your depth is varying within the set. So let's really focus on hitting that marker of getting those hips at or below the knees on every single one. but your squat the form looks great. Next. I've actually never used one of those machines where it both slides and goes up and down. So I'm curious to what those actually feel like when they're on your back. Pin squat. These are good. We could get a little bit lower, but this pin squats have a learning curve more so than a regular squat because you're starting in a position that you're not used to starting to. So this is great. I would say let's drop a hole on height on the next one. You don't got to get it all at once. Work down there, get comfortable, gradually make your way down to that actual bottom, and then keep working. So it doesn't have to happen all at once. So it looks good here. Let's drop a hole. Next. Good. I could see him pull himself into position. Bracing at the top of each rep. If you look right before he descends, he shifts his weight forward. So Andy, right there, he starts to come forward. I don't want you to come forward with your weight. I want your hips to come back and then you descend. So it's basically the reverse order. You're keeping your body stacked. So instead of coming forward and coming down, I guess to clear your legs is the intention. When your hips come back, your body will do the rest. Otherwise, the first rep was your best rep for sure, which is usually the second rep plus. Your setup is good. I'm over the moon about it. I want to see you keep your weight towards the middle of your foot on every single rep. Next. These are good.
Awesome.
No issues with the push-ups. I'd work on getting a hair deeper. Basically, I want your visual goal to be your shoulder the same height as your elbow.
Okay.
But those look great. Otherwise, you looks like you got a comfortable width. I don't see you too far down, too far up here. Let's just work a little bit deeper. Let's keep your head neutral, kind of hold your head up. See how you're kind of like hanging, which is common.
Yeah.
Keep your head neutral and it'll create that space. So if your head's hanging down, right, your face is going to be closer to the floor. It gives you that feeling of I'm close to the floor. I'm getting lower. Versus if we bring
okay, I'll be able to get deeper if I bring my head up.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that was a brutal day. There was decline, incline, and regular.
Yep.
But my shoulders and wrists are healing.
I don't think it's like a strength issue. I think you have no problem going deeper. I think it's just knowing where you're at in space.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Next. Yep. Bring that bar way closer when you pick it up off the ground, right up against your shins. So stiff leg deadlifts. So the exact same cue is Nana earlier. You see how you're folding and the bar is like this far away from your body? That bar should stay close, like on any other deadlift variation. What I want you to do with these, with any, whether it's a stiff leg deadlift or an RDL, I want your hips to be the motor. So I want those hips pushing back past your heels, like there's a door open, you're trying to push it shut, or you're trying to just reach your butt as far past your heels as you possibly can, and that's going to be your motor of your bar coming up and down. So if those hips are gliding, you're going to fold. Don't fold down away from you. Pull your hips back. But the good sign is the fact that you're able to do them like that means you could probably go heavier on the actual lift when you're doing it correctly because your back's strong. So silver lining for sure. Next. I always prefer people to walk into the rack than have to back into the rack. Candace, your squats look really good. It's hard to see depth, but you're close regardless. You're right there. You can maybe get a hair deeper, but your squats look great. Otherwise, let's push depth a little bit more. The reason being is you're way more likely to miss it if the rack's behind you versus being able to see it as you walk in and coming down into it. That's all. Y'all are living your own lives. You can do what you want when it comes to that, but I'd recommend walking into the rack. You got like a neutral grip dumbbell press. A fly, okay. These are pretty good. If you notice how the bend in her arm isn't changing. She's basically hugging a barrel and her arms are fixed. That's exactly what we want to see in flies. Jan, great job. Next. So he gets like all the way down and then he slightly shifts forward. If you watch his feet, you'll see his heels kind of get light because at the bottom, he's got to arrest that weight and it's coming down and forward and then he's coming up. So, Bryan, let's slow your descent a little bit so there's less, we'll call it impact at the bottom, and you'll have more tension in the hole. So you can get a little bit deeper. The weight's going to feel more in control, and you're more likely to stay in that vertical plane without that forward variance. From 85% of that range of motion is where we want it to be. It's just at the bottom, I think you're descending so fast, you're getting forward, trying to change direction, and then it brings you a little bit on your toes. So let's try 2-count tempo, 1,000, 2, 1,000, down up. The 2 1,000 being maybe even 3 on the way down just to get comfortable with it. And work from there and see how that feels. Next. Roll that bar in. Or pick it up way out front. Jesus. Rick, when you pick that bar up, it should be right against your shin. So we are already in the wrong position. We're way out front with the weight here. That was better. That rep was better. But I want to see a completely neutral back. So proud chest. I mean, from the lumbar up to your shoulders should be completely rigid. Our hips push back. You shouldn't descend to a point where your back has to curve to get any lower. That's the end of our range of motion. A little more leg bend for the art, or no, this is SDL. So I'm sorry. SDL, this is fine. but we need to get the hips back. When we pick this bar up, we do not want it out front like this. You want it right up against your shins. So that made it way harder. You never got fully postured up into position. Shoulders stacked on hips, stacked on knees. Hinge at the hips, hips glide back. That's going to be your initiator for the descent. Nice rigid back, big brace. Next. God, she's stiff-legged, completely locked out, completely on the floor. That's so crazy to me. These are fucking beautiful. Heavy. Let me see that again. Yes. All right, Carlee, your homework. No more touch and go. You see how much slower you are off the floor in that first rep than you are on the second rep? Let's get you used to pulling from that. And I think the reason was when you pulled yourself down into position, that bar had some slightly forward momentum. So, Noah, give me right before she pulls. Oh, she's about to do it again anyway. See, this is good, but it caused the bar right here before she inputs power, hit play. You see how her legs push that bar back out? So if you're going to do that where you pull yourself into position, the bar needs to be on mark, or else it pushes away. Now you've got forward momentum in the weight, and now when you go to input, it's trying to go this way, you're trying to go this way, it's got to come back and go up. That's really the only thing wrong here. The rest of her deadlift and the fact that she was still able to pull that with great position means she's stronger than she thinks. Next. I got nothing else. That's a beautiful pull. Yes. Look at that. Back's in position, triple extension. Beautiful execution of a high pull.
All right, give me something to improve there, Nick.
I mean, it'd be redundant. Like, I'm not gonna coach you just for the sake of hearing myself talk. Like, I need you to change nothing. The only thing from here is get stronger.
Sounds good.
Yeah, like that is a great movement. I mean, you're executing it properly. You're not losing control of the weight. You're arresting it safely. Like it's top to bottom. You're executing it at a high level. I could really get anal and be like, you're not technically in the designated Olympic clean position, blah, blah, blah. But I don't care about that because you're not competing in Olympic lifting. So
fair enough.
Everything out, this looks beautiful. Like it for me to change anything, I'd be overcoaching at that point. And I'd rather under cue someone than over cue someone, because at least then if I'm under cueing, you got one thing to focus on and you'll work on that more often than if I feed you with a fire hose.
So my biggest change here was going all the way to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the first time you looked at it, you said that you usually just drop it, right?
Yeah, because I'm typically doing it with like somewhere between 250 to 300 plus pounds. So the risk of me arresting it doesn't, or even if I don't drop it, I kind of let it come down and then I follow it to the floor. I don't necessarily slow it down, but like the floors, we got double layers of rubber matting. I don't know, equipment, like you've got bumpers, so you probably could drop it and be fine, but there is a car behind you. So if it kicked off that mat and took you with it, you're going to have nice, a nice butt dent in the passenger side door there. So yeah, I mean, you're slowing it down. I don't really want to give you anything because it looks great.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Those are good too. It looks like you're breathing on the way down, or is that just your shirt?
You could be right about that.
So that's what I don't want you doing. When you're moving that weight, I want that brace held. So you breathe
Okay.
here at the top. You breathe in between your reps, or you can start exhaling right as you start to lock out, when
Gotcha.
I don't want you breathing when that weight is coming down or on its main travel up, because we're losing that brace, we're losing that tension, we're losing that horsepower on a static lift like a press. So
All right.
hold that brace, you'll get some head pressure, you'll be fine. If you pass out, you're sitting down anyway.
Fair enough.
Well done. Next. Andreas, this is very good bar path. Do you see how you're kind of reaching at the top and your shoulders come out from under your back? Those lats roll forward. We want to keep those lats underneath of us. So our press stops when we lock out. We don't need to push it forward and unpack our back. We want to keep our back underneath of us and together. Otherwise, I do want to see his unrack again. Unrack, stop. So the same cue I gave earlier, just like a squat. When you walk out of the rack, you stop, you set, you brace. Same thing on the bench. Next. Jeannette finally submitted a video. Sweet. So these
First
look like
time ever, so I don't know if it was that good.
you're doing high pulls, I'm assuming?
I can't go past my knees, so
That's okay.
So I was just trying to do what I could do.
I mean, you're doing these pretty strict and you're moving pretty well, and it's
I was using between 35 and 25.
Yeah,
I can lift a 60-pound barbell at the gym, so
yeah, no, you made a good
so
call
it kind
there.
of equals that.
Yeah, I would just try and let it think about as you're coming up, trying to speed it up as it rises. So you start the momentum, keep accelerating it. That's what I want you to focus on is starting to generate some power and acceleration. But how you weight and the direction you're moving the weight is good.
It took me 3 tries to do a video because I've never done it before. So I was kind of like, I don't like this one. I don't like that one.
So it's a PR. Either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Next. These are good. Some slight forward travel, kind of rebounding out of the hole. I'm I'm going to give you the same corrective thing I gave earlier. Slow down the descent slightly. So you stay slow up until the last quarter, and then it's like you're anticipating that rebound, and then you kind of let it free fall that last like 6 inches, and that's what's pushing you slightly forward. So if you maintain that tempo that you start with from about here to there, that's what we want. And just kind of work that, focus on that. Otherwise, your squat's looking really good, Eric. Next. These are pretty good. I mean, it's a dumbbell deadlift. It's basically a deficit deadlift when doing it with dumbbells. And he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I'd never done these before, so I wasn't sure how it was doing.
Yeah, it's a weird one because you got to go so low. So when I'm a little more lenient on the neutral back, because let's be honest, like I'm not getting down that low with a neutral back. It's just not happening. And you're going to be limited on weight because of the implement. So it's not really as much risk, especially if you're bracing properly. That belly breath, down, up, breathe, down, up, breathe. You're doing a great job. So I would say keep it. You see how you're coming forward slightly. Where that's going to change when you eventually graduate to a deadlift is you won't have that forward motion because it's a neutral grip. So the dumbbells kind of have to come up and back because of, to get down that low, your shoulders have to come forward because you got to bend over. So when you do graduate to, say, a barbell, and with the weight, how much is in each hand?
Just 50. And to clarify, like I'm moving, so my new gym doesn't have barbells. So I'm going from barbells down to dumbbells.
Okay, got it. If you want, if they have plates or boxes, you could also stack plates or put boxes down to give you that barbell height, and you could mimic that same pattern with that same range of motion.
Gotcha. Okay.
If that would be more comfortable, but you're doing fine with these.
Okay.
So, good job.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Sir. Next. Oh dear, it's a high pull. You've got the right idea. You've got the acceleration. You don't have to roll under like you're cleaning it. Think about pulling the bar apart, like, and I think I don't know what weights you have, but if you had some like 10-pound bumpers, something to elevate the bar, A, so you don't smash your fingers, because that looked pretty close. B, to put you more in that deadlift position. And that weight is gonna, I think it's so light that it's hard to exaggerate because of the weight imbalance. And you're strong. So it's kind of hard to get. Like, I feel like if you were to actually input the power to jump, you'd actually come flying off the floor entirely with an empty bar. So when you try to mimic these explosive movements, they're harder to slow down because they require the explosion. But the caveat to that is when you are using an empty implement, you can't be incredibly explosive because it's empty, because things just will go flying. So, Rory, you need to add some weight on that because you're more than strong enough, and the movement will make a little bit more sense heavier because it will require the acceleration. But you've got the right idea. I just want to see what it looks like with a little bit of weight. Next. We just had to bully her into getting a barbell.
Bully her for more plates.
Yeah, it's not often you gotta bully someone to put more weight on the bar. Usually it's the other way around. Again, Smith machine squats are finicky because of the angle. So they end up being more like a hack squat. Anton, I'd say you don't need to go hamstring to calf. And I would almost bring your feet more forward because it's causing that flexion in the lumbar at the bottom because it's kind of folding you. So the reality is with these, you're gonna have to treat it a little bit more like a hack squat, and that's okay if that's all you have access to. So I would bring your feet out a little bit more away from you and work there. Otherwise, all good. Next. So she's doing chest flies. Elise, I'd like to see. I'm guessing you're kind of limited by range of motion here on the machine.
No, actually, that was why I submitted it. So I can go. I think there's like 2 more holes that I can adjust it, and I just didn't know quite how far back I should go because it was really starting to pull in my my collarbone area and tweaking it a little bit. So but that was my question: is if I'm actually my range of motion is appropriate,
I mean,
or I should be going back.
we could probably get a little bit more. Lighten up the load, play with it, see if it hurts, see if it works. That's where a little bit of experimentation is. You know your body, you know your limits. I would try and get a little bit more range of motion on the back.
Great.
What I'm looking at is your elbows in relativity to your shoulder, and you're not breaking neutral. So I at least want to see you get neutral.
I'm not breaking neutral.
So your elbow doesn't come in, like you're not even getting, like, here's my shoulder. Your elbow is staying in front of your shoulder versus at least getting in line and creating.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
how
understand.
you don't need to come way back here. Like, I would just like to see at least a neutral plane and work from there. So if that's 1, 2 holes, whatever, permitting there's no pain.
Okay.
But you're doing everything else just fine. Per usual.
He's being nice to everybody today.
Except April, but that's how we roll.
Thank you.
Nick, I have a comment on this one from Ian on the app, so I'm just going to read it to you really quick because he couldn't be on today.
Yeah, I was coaching at the high school, my volunteer work.
I've submitted my deadlift again. I've really been working on flattening my back. I think my form might be breaking down at heavier load, so I've submitted 3 progressively heavier sets. I hope that's okay. I think I'm sometimes pulling around my knees on the way up, and the bar moves in and out on the way down. I thought the lowering, but would be easy to get right.
Okay, let's see. Oh, look good. Yep, hold in tension. A little bit of lumbar flexion. Not bad. Give me the next. I want to see the heavier ones. Or is it all one video? Yeah, it's all one video. That looks pretty close to the same, just a little bit slower. Take me to top set. Yep. again, there's not much change in position, which is good. Your back's not becoming that much more compromised between your lightest set and your heaviest set. You don't have a lot of flexion, which means you're engaging and bracing how you should be braced. Like that was your hardest rep, and off the floor, one of your best postures. So I think you're overthinking this a little bit. Higher effort, things are going to deteriorate. So the closer you get to 100%, the less. There's two scales. We have the scales of 10 out of 10 being perfect and 10 out of 10 true 10 out of 10. So typically when it comes to these, I am training, I'm giving you guys in the 10 out of 10 and trying to get you to know what your perfect position feels like, and then letting you work up and down that effort scale and figuring out where things break down, because that's how we do this. Like I train in a realm of perfection, but I know where things break down because I've been doing this a while. So I know when I go into contests and I'm full send, form's going to break down. It's not going to look as pretty, but I'm at a 10 out of 10 on true effort. So he's flirting with that limit right here, which is good. And it's not breaking down all that much. So Ian, don't beat yourself up. These are good pulls. Could you drop weight and make that posture a little bit more perfect, a little bit more manageable for what your core can bear load-wise? Absolutely. But that's okay that you're finding out where things break down. So you could exaggerate the cat-cow a little bit more before each rep to really drive in that physical feedback. But overall, your pulls are looking pretty good. Next. Rear foot splits. So, okay, Bulgarian split squat. Got it. These are pretty good. I'd take about a half step forward because the goal of the Bulgarian split squat is to squat between your heels. Think about it like that. So you have just a vertical plane. You kind of have to come back away from your foot, which indicates that it is a little bit too close. Typically, when you see people having to go down and forward, they're trying to, their front foot's out too far.
Okay.
So like a half step forward and you'll probably be on the money.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. I also want to make note that if you notice when she does these, her upper body she's not folding when she does it. She's keeping a nice vertical posture from the hips up, which is what we want to see in lunges, split squats. So good job there.
Thanks.
Benoit. He's made a lot of progress on this. Jeannette, those are Bulgarian split squats. Benoit, these are looking better than ever. And we're getting closer and closer to the floor. Good job. Yeah. Well done, dude. These are Benoit's taken the long road because he couldn't get I know I've talked about it before, but we were struggling to find position through physical feedback and other things. So much like with what I'm doing with Noah, we're building it from the top down and making it perfect, getting lower, making it perfect, getting lower, making it perfect, getting lower until we eventually hit the floor. It makes it more palatable. Some people don't respond to cues the same as others. Like some different cues work for different people. And sometimes putting it all together makes less sense than putting it together piece by piece. So what we did in Benoit's case is we took his deadlift all the way up to about at or above the knee, and we got him into position there because it was just easier for him. It made more sense. It clicked, and we ingrained that, and we just steadily have been dropping height when we get to a point where he's consistent in position, and then we drop some more height. So Benoit, I think you're ready to drop another inch or so and see how it feels. Good job. Ben, these are great. Knees are going out over the pinky toes. Posture is intact the whole way. What I want you to think about on the way up is driving your back into the bar, not just using your legs. Getting your upper body into it too. And I mean kind of more like there's a concrete slab on your back, and as you come up, you fight back against that bar as well. But overall, this squat's really good. Just going to make it even better. Next. Good. Doesn't need any more range of motion than that. That's where his ROM ends for that before he has to fold to get lower. His hips are coming way back away from the bar. His hips are accelerating back to the bar, getting a big glute squeeze at the top. You're executing these fantastically. Next. That was good. Keep that arm straight. That's the main thing that jumps out to me. But all right, see how your shoulders are in front of the barbell? When you get heavier, what's going to happen is that bar is actually going to swing out away from you. That I've got a hunch that arm's bending because it's actually pulling you're pulling the bar in. That's why we're not seeing it swing. So when you get heavier and your bicep isn't strong enough, it's going to swing out away from you. So all you got to do is take your shoulders from here and just sit back and bring them here. That's it. It's a very minute, just kind of roll back. Shifting your weight more the middle of your foot and your heels. It's a very subtle change.
A little tough. This is a one of those shorter curl bars instead of a standard dumbbell, so that's
I can't see that.
Me.
That makes sense. I'll give you some slack there. That does change things a little bit. It just feels different than a straight bar. So with that being said, you're doing a lot right. I would just keep that position because either way, right, no matter what the bar is, the center is still the center. It's just with that curl bar, because it has the whatever you want to call that bar, you kind of got to turn it in the right direction or it tries to turn on you, things like that. So that's where it can really throw you off. But they don't have a straight bar?
Nope. I go to another gym that does, so.
Okay. I want to see your deadlift on a straight bar. If possible.
Sure.
Cool. Next. Because you've got so much right. I want to see how it translates to the right piece of equipment. I imagine it'll probably look good. Barbell back squat. These are good. Instead of you looking straight down between your feet, I want you to keep that vision out in front, whether that wall's close or not. And I want to see you get a little bit lower. So you can either find a lower box to squat to, or you can put plates where your feet go to bring your height up. So it brings the box in theory lower. But you're doing a lot right, man. I just want to see you get a little lower and see what happens. Next.
Cheated today, changed the deadlift for a squat.
These are good, Andres.
Okay. I'm bumping up the weight, so that's more like my first time at 190.
I mean, your speed on the way up is fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just kind of want to jump the weight when I go up. So yeah.
You get a little bit toe heavy in the bottom. And that comes down to you folding ever so light. Because when you fold, it brings the bar forward, brings it on your toes. So I want you to be very conscious of that and squeeze that back together to keep that chest out in front of you, per se. And as you come up out of the hole, you heard me give this cue earlier, drive back into the bar.
Okay. All right. So when I come down, I just got to put my back a little bit more towards like the back.
Keep your back squeezed together. It'll keep your chest out in front of you.
Okay. Yeah. Because I do feel like sometimes I go a little bit, I feel like the fold. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Good job. Next.
Thank you.
These are really good. His elbows virtually aren't moving. Getting a whole lot of tricep, doing all the work. That's what we want. Well done. Good range of motion. Beautiful. Curls. I mean, the thumbnail, everything looks like it's where it's supposed to be, but we'll see. Yeah, these are pretty good. He's not scooping through. He's not swinging it. I mean, his elbows kick through, but he's already past. He's not raising with his delts. It's just the mechanics of the body. So he's doing everything pretty well. I'm not someone who's a stickler on an incredibly strict curl because it is an assistance movement. So there is room for variance, in my opinion, but I'm also not a bodybuilder who prioritizes that sort of. You're hitting it's the bicep. You're going from here to here. As long as you're not doing too much with the rest of your body and arms and shoulders, you can't really get them wrong. I mean, I say that, but I've seen people do some pretty wild shit on curls. But these are fine. Well done. Next. Uh-oh, no. What we got going on? So it looks like we were going for like a PB at 225. So the good thing is he had leg drive, but your leg drive, you don't want to push yourself up in the air off the bench because it changes how you're pressing. And just bit off a little more than you can chew. As simple as that. Things fall apart when that happens, and you win some, you lose some. He took an L, and it's okay. He didn't get trapped under the bar. He had a spot. He had all the right things in place. So all good. Spotter spotted perfectly. It happens. I think 100 kg was just a little too much. Maybe like 90 to 95 kilo might have been more of where that was at. I mean, it's hard to tell. You could, some reps you could drop like a feather on the bar and it won't go up, but you take that feather off and it'll go. Like it's the weird thing about the margins when you're going for a PB sometimes. So yeah, just took an L on this one. It happens. Next. Jerk the shit out of it, but she's flying. So what I mean by jerk is she started here and she pulled, luckily, because whatever's on the bar is nowhere near any sort of max effort for her. It didn't pull her out of position. But as you get heavier and you jerk on the bar, you got to give the rest of your body time to load and prepare for it. So I've seen jerking work for some people, but they are very, very few and far between. And I don't recommend it because typically the people that it works for are incredibly strong strength athletes. In the world of strongman, you won't really see powerlifters do it. You won't see any sort of elite level powerlifter do it. So what I mean by your body has to have a minute to load, you can have a hard input to the bar, but once the slack's pulled out, so then you're somewhat loaded. So instead of going from 0 pounds to 100 pounds, you're going from 50 pounds to 100 pounds. You've already got some tension. She went from 0 to flying off the floor. Under heavier load, that's going to pull you out of position. So Caryn, I want to see your arms straight. I want to see you pulling the slack out of that bar and accelerating from there. No more jerking on the bar. Otherwise, everything's looking really good. I want to see that jerk stop, and I want to see your deadlift from the side next time, and then we'll go from there. Next. There's a new Crunch Fitness coming into town here, and it looks pretty sweet. Go, Bonnie, go. Yes, ma'am. She was even a little off center and was just like, fucking, I'm pulling. I love it. That's
I submitted another video with a little bit of lighter weight. This was my personal record. So
I assumed it was somewhere around there, and I am totally on board with this. You pulled this with great form. I mean, the fact that you were even a little off center and just kept pulling through it. I've been there, I've done that, and I do the same thing. Screw it, I'm here. I'm not stopping. Well done. That's what?
245?
45. Yes, ma'am. Love it.
I got a coach and he's trying to get me up to 275 to 300 for something in the Wisconsin Dells in April. But I want to make sure I have my form so I don't get hurt.
Well, it looks like he's been doing a great job with you so far. Your hips kicked up a little bit, which means your starting point where your hips are, basically where you're setting your hips, and then where your leg drive actually kicks in are two different spots.
Got it. So the leg drive should start immediately when I pull the slack out of my arms.
Yes. So your hip position is going to be right there. It's going to be slightly higher than where you're setting them. So you don't get that forward roll and then you end up out of position. Luckily, you're strong. So it didn't matter. You just kept pulling. But yeah, we want to bring those hips up ever so slightly and start pushing the ground away from there. So we mitigate some of that forward pitch.
All right, thanks.
But if that's the only thing that's going wrong on a PB, you're in a really good spot.
Thanks. Oh yeah, this is the one with the lighter weights.
That was good. That looked really good.
205.
You see how initially your hips kick up and back?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I would focus on. I'd potentially talk to whoever you're working with. I don't like stepping on another coach's toes.
No, I'm all open for a new pair of eyes. So
that's really the only thing. I mean, you're in prep. When's your meet?
All right. April in the Wisconsin Dells.
You got plenty of time.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll probably be fixed well before then. If this is how you're pulling now, like I'm not worried in the slightest.
All right.
This is awesome. Good job.
Now I'm working on the others, the bench press and the squats, so I'll have to work on those.
Yeah, I'd love to see
your instruction was excellent to some of the others because I find myself folding before I come back up.
Yeah, submit a video if you want, and we'll take a look. Good job. You're strong.
I'm just looking because Sandra said yep, here it is. Sorry. It got moved on accident, so take a look at it.
Chest supported row. This is another machine I really love that I don't have. So the one, it's subtle, but Sandra, I want to see you initiating it with your back and then coming through with your arms versus your arms and finishing with your back. So you initiate it by retracting your back and pulling with your arms versus your arms and then your back, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm going to have to rewatch this so I can understand it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's just like you do a pull-up. You initiate it with this motion. Bit, right? You pull your back together. So it's literally the same thing, just on a different plane. You initiate it by coming here and then bringing it home here, and you're squeezing with the back the whole time. It's a chain, right? So think about where our anchor is. Our anchor is our torso on the pad. So power has to come from the ground up. So we need to get the tension here first and start the momentum with where our anchor is. And then we pull through where the weight is. So it comes down the arm from the back.
From the back. Okay. I think that makes sense. All right.
Cool.
Try it. Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Noah.
Of course.
All right. So was that the last video?
Yep. So we're going to go into Q&A now.
Cool. All right, Q&A. Who's got questions? Looks like Elise is first up. Go ahead.
I have two questions. First, when you're doing a bent over barbell row, and you're using reasonably heavy weight, should you do an over-under grip or should it just be over grip? Or does it even matter?
You never go over-under on a barbell row.
Okay.
You do like a Yates row variation where you're both supinated.
Okay.
But always the same.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Secondly, does anybody have, so the day after a lift, my hands really hurt. And I occasionally wake up and my hands are like in a crab claw and I have to pry them. I have to pry them open. Should I go to a doctor, or is that a normal thing? Like, do your hands ever hurt, Nic?
Well, I have arthritis and they hurt.
Like the skin?
No, it's actually, like the tendons and, it's not like in between the, what is it, the tarsals. It's the fingers, but I'll wake up and my hand will be like that, and I have to actually pry it.
Does it radiate into the forearm?
It does not.
Okay, so
it's only the hands, and only really the fingers.
What I want you to do, try this to start, because it's going to take some troubleshooting. Rubber bands, hair ties, whatever, you can put resistance.
Yeah.
At the end of a workout, extensors.
Okay.
Constantly doing this. We're constantly doing this, right?
Right.
So get some contrast working with the extensor. Do like 5 sets of 20. Like just bit. It's mindless work. Put on a TV show and just go to town.
Okay.
Get a pump. Do that for a couple days. See how that feels the next morning.
Okay. And do it afterwards as opposed to like in between sets?
Yeah, do it after. Just do it at the end.
Okay. I'm really hoping I don't like have arthritis, but it's a possibility.
I've had that happen after like certain events. Like my hands were like that after the frame that tore my hand. If you guys aren't squeamish, this is what my hands look like.
Yeah. I had that when I was a gymnast from the bar. So,
yeah,
I know, I've been there. I know how painful that is. I feel for you.
Yeah, and my hands, because that you're clenching so hard to the point of like my skin failed before my grip did.
Yes, right.
My hands I had to like peel my left hand. My right hand came off. I had to peel my left hand off the bar. So I know the feeling. I've never had it the day after. I typically have it like, I'll get it after heavy, like if I'm doing like a heavy curl or something. I always do fat grips now. So I'm here when I do curls. So I don't get it as much. But I've had that happen after like chin ups where I was like,
yeah, it's like crab claw.
Dead hangs. I've had it happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've had it where my hand has been sore, almost like the little muscles in between from skiing. And when you're back when I used to do moguls and things in days gone by, and I was really stabbing and gorilla grip on the poles and the next day. But this is something completely different. This is just in the fingers and waking up literally with it frozen, and sometimes a little bit of trigger finger, like where it's stuck and it clicks. So I was just wondering if that's normal or.
Yeah, like I said, I've never had it the day after. It's usually like within when I just did it. I would try some extensor work. Try that a couple days straight. See if that makes any changes. If not, report back. And I got some other tricks up my sleeve we can try.
Okay, I will definitely try that. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? She can't be the only one. No? Okay. Hit me.
Sandra's got a question, but she's on mute.
Oh, sorry. Got it. Thank you. I'm impressed, Bonnie. I'm impressed with everybody here, starting with Nic and everybody else. So big question. How do y'all find out about like Bonnie's competing in a show? And I know Peggy's competed in something. I went to a show just to like an observer in the spring, and I walked away from there just feeling so, wow, this is like a whole other country, world, you know? So I'm just curious, how does one like take baby steps into this universe other than being here?
Bonnie, go ahead. I think your experience, I'm a jump right in,
Well,
head first, dive in the deep end, learn how to swim later.
hey,
Bonnie,
all I know is my coach said, you can lift weight, you should compete in your age group. The first time I'm ever going to try this, he told me that I have to get rid of, I can use the wraps for training, but eventually I have to learn how to lift without wraps. So that'll be interesting.
I'm duly impressed. So that's so super cool. You're an inspiration.
is your question on more like where to look, how to get into it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it seems like a secret thing. I don't know. You know,
So what state are you in?
Texas.
Oh my God, it's everywhere. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen shows and I've gone to shows, but it's like, I mean, how do you know who's legit or not?
One of the most famous barbell used in powerlifting, the Texas Power Bar.
Okay.
Texas. I have one where I own one. Where in Texas are you?
Outside Dallas.
Go to Battle Axe Barbell.
Okay.
Ask for Derek or Shelly. Tell them Uncle Nick sent you. Derek is one of my dear friends. He actually coaches.
Okay.
And they are in Dallas, Fort Worth, but it's called Battle Axe Barbell. Call. You can call first. And I believe once you're a member, it's 24/7 access.
Okay.
And they've got everything from powerlifting racks to Atlas stones. And I know that gym intimately because I know the people in it. I know the owner. When I'm in Texas, that's where I train. These are people I've stayed at their house. I've helped them run meets.
Okay.
And you have Jade Dickens down there. She is a meet coordinator. And she competes in Masters Women. She is I don't know how old she is. She's in her 50s at least. Incredibly strong. And an absolute sweetheart. A dear friend. So what I want you to do is submit a service ticket. Catch will field it. Say Nick sent me the context. I'm trying to track down powerlifting, correct?
Huh?
And I will put you directly in contact with Jade.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick.
But call over to Battle Axe Barbell. Say, hey, Nick is my coach on the Pump Club. He sent me here. I want to come check this out. And they will hold your hand and walk you through the gym. And this is a gym that does fundraisers for dogs, and they work with local shelters. Like, you could not be in a better spot. So I'm excited that you're in that area because I love these people to death. And I'm confident you'll be in good hands. It's not like a state that I'm not familiar with where you're going in blind and I'd have to do research and reach out to friends in the community. You've got a really, really good spot to train out of there. So
awesome.
I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you. Me too. Thank you. And thank you all. Yay.
Bonnie, go ahead.
So I love those videos that you did with showing the basic 3 lifts. The one I'm having trouble with is the front squat. Okay. So you tell us to keep the elbows out and I go down, but I find that the weight distribution, however it is, I can't seem to get any form on that. I'll get to a certain point and I collapse, or I'll get down and I find myself falling back. I've put the rails high enough so that I fall back, it'll catch the weight, but I can't seem to get form on that one at all.
So I'm gonna put it bluntly, I need a video because I need to assess what's going on.
Yeah. All right.
Any sort of input that's worth anything. Because right now I'm taking shots in the dark with a blindfold on. And it's not because of your explanation or lack thereof. It's simply out of I assess through movement. And the movement is honestly what talks to me more than any explanation. So that's where my autism, whatever you want to call it. That's where I can communicate clearly is your movement. So put that in for the next one. Whether it's on the program or not, go in, do some front squats with an empty bar or something light that's not going to affect your training. So I can see what's going on. Give me from the side and give me from the front. 2 videos. Sweet. Thank you, Bonnie. Anyone else?
I had a quick one, Nick, while you're doling out gym recommendations. Anywhere in Los Angeles that's good to like has classes like that are good for strongman. I used to have it in a gym that I did and they moved, so I haven't been able to find that since.
Noah is an LA resident.
Yeah. So actually I was just training. Well, where are you located in LA, first of all? Because I know for a fact that if you're located in one part of LA, you're not driving to the other part. So
I'm up in Calabasas. This is where I live, but
Oh.
I'm in Westwood for work a lot.
Okay, so how far is Calabasas from Thousand Oaks?
Right there. We're there all the time.
Okay, so there's a gym called the Training Hall there. It's Ode Haugen, who is basically like the godfather of grip. Like he's just really obsessed with like, like double overhanding every deadlift or like, like it's just different tools to practice grip. But yeah, it's really cool gym. It's got space, it's powerlifting, strongman. And yeah, it's a cool spot. So I can give you his number if you want. But yeah, just contact me off here and I'll get you clued in.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, man.
A fun fact about Ode. He went to a college called, at the time, Western Maryland, which is out here where I live. It's 15 minutes away. Some of his track and field records still stand to this day.
Yeah, he's a freak, man.
Like one was like a throwing, I forget. He ain't running. He's like North European. Like they're not runners, they're throwers and lifters.
And I could be wrong about this because Mark Felix maybe could have done this as well, but I think Ode was actually like the oldest person to make the finals in World's Strongest Man. I forget what year it was, but he was like 55 or some shit.
Yeah, I think Mark's 55 or 56 his last year.
Yeah, so he probably, but those two guys are both, same craziness. But yeah, That's the one, man. Sorry, that was long-winded, but that's the one.
No, awesome. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Anywhere else? Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? Sold. All right. We had a light one today. We didn't even hit what? Did we even hit the 2-hour mark?
No, not even 90 minutes. You got busy.
That's like a record.
I know, dude. It's Friday too, dude. Wow. He was very considerate.
Friday. People are tired of me talking.
Yeah.
Go have a fun party. I'll blame them.
Thank you, Uncle Nick.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
All right.
Thanks,
Have a great
Noah.
weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
Guys.
It's nice to meet
Have a
you
good
all.
one.